Hello again, welcome back. This is the final Horror for Halloween's video. This should come out on the Friday following Halloween, so Halloween period's now kind of over. I hope you stuck with me through this cold. So I hope everything I say seems to make sense because I'm stuck with the cold at the moment. The film I'm going to talk about today is The Haunting. Now there's a new Netflix show called The Haunting of Hill House, which is a spin-off or whatever. I haven't watched it. It's based on that same house idea, the Hill House. But this is the original film based on the novel The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. There was a notorious Jan de Bont monstrosity starring Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, called The Haunting, that came out in the late 90s, that was laughed off the screen. Had lots of moving camera shots that made no sense because they weren't covering anything scary. They were just lots of CGI, and it was a disaster. It's hard to watch because it's so boring. This film is not boring though. This film is really good. This is Robert Wise directed it, and it's very psychological, and it's very much based on the idea of four people getting into the house and how it affects their minds. But also, it doesn't forget it's also a ghost story, so there's lots of bumps in the night. Apparently, the rumour is originally Robert Wise and the screenwriter wanted to make everything in the mind of the characters nothing but supernatural. And Shirley Jackson told him, yeah, but the ghosts actually exist as a ghost story. So they did the ghost story elements, but they also give it a psychological focus, but that means the story has an emotional movement forward that makes you invested. So it's the best of both worlds. I would say up front, I prefer Night of the Demon to this film, the one I covered yesterday. This is a very good film. It works very well, but I just like that one better. I just think, because it's also based on Robert Wise also worked with Val Newton in the 40s and those early horror movies. I just like Turnier's style better. I just like him as a director better, really. Even though Wise made Andromeda Strain, which I love, I just like Turnier better. Sorry if you're a Wise fan. Whoops. But yeah, this one's really good though. This one has really good performances. All the actors are terrific in it. They're all cast well. It starts, basically, the lead character is Eleanor, or she's called Nell as a nickname. She's, her mother has just died, and she's had some psychic experiences before. She's invited along to this experiment in this house called Hill House, which is notoriously haunted. Lots of people have died there. There's something wrong with this house. And then this professor wants to do experiments to find out more about hauntings and life after death. So he's invited a lot of people who have psychic experiences to come along so they can see the reaction of them in the house. Because the house is so notorious, only two people come along, which is Eleanor and Theo, who's this lesbian New Yorker chick played by Claire Bloom. Julie Harris plays Eleanor, and they're both terrific. They also have a character played by Russ Tamblyn, who you later fans will know as the Dr. Jacoby from Twin Peaks, but he also used to be a dancer in like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and he played Tom Thumb. So there's lots of things, and Richard Johnson plays the professor, and they all go into this house, and things start happening. I'm trying to avoid spoilery as well, but basically you see a lot through Eleanor's point of view, and she's an unreliable narrator because she takes everything so personally. Everything's tied to how she feels. Because her mother died, she's very unstable. She hasn't quite walked through the feelings of guilt over the death of her mother, who she cared for years. She still hasn't quite... She hasn't that mourning period where she needed to stabilise herself and work through everything. She's got a sister who's very controlling. She's not been in the house, put it that way. She's not quite ready to go to that house and be prepared for the house when they throw at her. everyone else in the house is more stable, and they can take the house a bit more. I mean, it freaks them out, but they have the emotional maturity to be able to take knocks and get over it and understand that's part of life, and they can distance themselves a little bit. Eleanor can't. She's just she's like a raw nerve, and she's, so you see from her point of view, so it means you can tint the movie to the emotional centre of someone who's very disturbed already and who reacts in ways that most of us hopefully wouldn't. It's just a very emotionally disturbed person. It's not obviously freaky or anything. She's trying to keep it together. She's enough rationality to know she has problems. She underestimates how much problems she has, and she's just not up to the task. But that's what makes it scary, because you're actually scared for her. You're scared for her going too far. And you see the characters starting to get scared for her as well, and scared for her reactions because they know she's not up to it. So that, her reactions plus the houses, you've got these massive like audio effects of these bumps in the night, and things start happening that are really creepy. All these weird shots of like wide angle lens shots of the house, which means everything's very distorted and you can see things in the foreground and the background. Everything is done to throw you off, but they're careful. The way films nowadays just throw everything at you, this film carefully builds, so it'll throw weird stuff at you and then it'll pull back a little bit so you can like get your bearings again. Then it'll do something else and it's slowly accumulating these frights so that you can take them, you can understand them, and it can mess with you. But it's accumulation because it treats you with respect. It treats you as someone who can understand what's going on and then use your expectations against you. But there's enough respect for you to not just throw everything at you. You just understand your mind has to take things in a certain pace. Otherwise you're just going to check out from the movie. It doesn't want you to check out from the characters. So it's always been careful to keep the characters in the foreground and their reactions and their irrational reactions. That's what the scare is, so it knows always to come back to that rather than have the visuals be the scares all the time. The visuals are basically the spine along with the characters, and they have to work in tandem with each other, otherwise it's not going to work. And this film understands that, so it slowly builds to really terrific horrors. And it's in black and white, which makes everything atmospheric. So the whole film has this wonderful feel of, you know, careful control. And it's very emotional towards the end of what happens to the characters, without being sappy about it. It's just that you build so much affection for the characters. Even when they behave badly, you see why they're behaving badly, so you actually care what's going to happen to the characters as it goes along. So even the characters who might start off being a bit aloof or a bit selfish, they develop, you start to see the human side as well, and you can see there's reasons for what they're doing. So you really care about all four characters as the film goes on, and as the drama progresses, that concern can be used against you in the house, just the way the characters are mostly used against them by the house. So that's what's great about it. So I won't say any more, just go see the film, it's really good. I heard the Netflix series is really good as well, but this film is terrific. My final recommendation for horror for Halloween is something that's not restrained at all. It's called Lair of the White Worm. It's a Ken Russell film, and Peter Capaldi and Hugh Grant are in it before they were famous. They were a lot of fun actually because they know what film they're in, but apparently Hugh Grant hates this film, which is another reason to watch it. Whenever you hear someone actually hating a film, that's when I want to see it straight away. But it's a lot of fun. It's campy as hell. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, objectively, it's not a good film, but it's a wonderful film for Halloween just to sit back and enjoy pure hokum by a director who knows he's making pure hokum. So go see that one as well. That's this series over. I'll be back next week with some other videos, but that's the Halloween series over. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back soon.